It happens here, Cambridgeport. Wedged between MIT and Harvard, Cambridgeport used to be the home of Polaroid, the pioneers of the instant photo, which may not be so impressive now, but back in the day Polaroid was huge. Until 1977 when they released an instant movie camera, which we kinda already had. Oops. But Cambridgeport is also notable for what didn't happen here. You might have noticed this off-ramp that goes nowhere. Well, it was supposed to go through Cambridgeport. See, after World War II, America went car crazy and started building highways absolutely everywhere. They tore through neighborhood after neighborhood without a care in the world until they got to Cambridgeport.
The amazing thing is in the 50s, most government officials could not see the destruction that was associated with it. And there was nobody thinking, my God, what does this do to a city? What does this do to a neighborhood?
Stephen Kaiser moved to Cambridgeport in 1965 and found a neighborhood that was mobilized.
The first thing I saw when I moved into the neighborhood in '65 is they made these great big signs saying Cambridge is a city, not a highway. And these were on every house.
The state planned to build an 8-lane highway that stretched from I-93 to Brookline straight through the heart of the densely packed neighborhood.
You have to imagine a 300-foot, it's the length of a football field, just cutting right through the city.
Tip O'Neill later called the project a Chinese wall.
Here were the highway guys, they had all their plans, they were ready to take people's houses. So they organized themselves, they formed a group called Save Our City.
The spirit of the civil rights movement and the anti-war movement, people were in motion. Certainly people of color were making headway in the civil rights movement, so I think that added to the sense of optimism that things could change if you just got enough people and you stuck with it long enough.
But the citizens hit one snag. The neighborhood was politically weak.
We didn't have the strong political representation in the city council. What that means today is our garbage gets collected on Friday. We're the last one in the city.
But Cambridgeport was diverse, and that diversity proved to be their secret power.
Cambridgeport didn't have that sort of rigid ethnic viewpoint that says, hey, if you're not us, you're no good. So we have professors, we have students, blue collar and middle class, upper middle class, all working together.
Labor organizers who knew how to work the system, students adept at research, and professors with academic clout. They could have formed a Facebook page and Twitter handle to get the word out, except for the fact that there was no internet in the late 60s. So instead they had Pearl Street Market. And get this, they met face to face.
So I'd be walking back along Pearl Street, going in, buy some stuff, and then we'd sit and chat and talk about the Underbelt.
Together they learned how to make the government listen.
The neighbors were able to not only organize themselves, but they were able to get into City Hall and gradually turn the city council and the city manager around to say, hey, look, this is bad. We got to fight this. The whole city has to oppose this.
Gradually, they realized the neighborhood had been saved.
The little guys won.
And that victory lives on here in this mural on the back of Micro Center.
To think that a little neighborhood like this, the weakest neighborhood in Cambridge, beat the Fat Cats, it's an amazing achievement.
And that achievement is still studied by academics today for how average citizens basically owned powerful interests.
This battle for the inner belt was incredibly inspiring for the next battle to come. You've got to stick together and be persistent, and you can win.
Now, over 40 years later, there's still no highway, but change has come to Cambridgeport in a different form.
It's ironic. Many of them couldn't stay to enjoy the neighborhood that they fought for because of the gentrification that took place. But there's still some old timers here, and they have that collective memory, and if they forget for a minute, they can always look at the wall.